moments where this could be one of those films that could sneak up on you and surprise everyone.
I mean,
And I'm not saying in a way where, sorry, Ryan.
no. Go ahead. I'm trying to think about how I feel about this.
Because this one looks very interesting. Don't get me wrong. See, it's hard to me to debate whether this is going to be trash or cash because it's an interesting concept. It's a very interesting concept. I am curious to see this film, to be honest with you. So it's like, on the basis of, this is a sleeper. I mean, a sneaker. Like one of those films that you probably going to underestimate and then it's just surprise you. I'm going to see cash. I'm sorry. I'm going to see cash because this is a sleeper film to the point where it's going to surprise people. And you're going to be seeing the amount of people that are actually going to go see this film. And it's probably going to make his budget back because I'm curious about this film. Because of The Voyage, I heard stories about this film.
You know, I think in this case at $100 million, it's also pretty feasible that way as well. Yeah. I do agree with you. I think this is going to be a sleeper. I think this is one of those movies that I think people want the suspense and the horror, and they enjoy that. That is a really strong niche that usually typically pays dirt, right. It's pay dirt. So, you make $200 million, make $300 million, you've turned a profit, you've made cash on this one.
You're right.
If it was Dial of Destiny money, I'd be like, hell no. But at $100 million, which I think is pretty doable, I'm going to say yes. This is going to be cash here. Brian,
I'm going to have to say trash. To be honest,
all right.
I understand the idea, and yes, it does seem like a creative idea, but just in normal movie-going history, as far as I've really connected, unless the boat's called Titanic, boat movies usually never do so well. So I mean, I can't exactly imagine a lot of people like really jumping aboard on the concept. I mean, yeah, they say it's Dracula, but basically it's just a giant.
By the way, Rob's going overboard right now too.
It might as well be like Jeepers Creepers at this point.
I am going overboard with my camera right now.
Yeah, I know. Basically, all that rocking that Rob was doing with his camera. Imagine that on the screen because of the boat movements and the.
I was just showing you what was going to happen to the box office when this movie comes out. It's just going to be sinking.
Whoa!
And it's going to be trash.
Wow! Rob going experimental.
So basically, the two that basically call cash are up here. The two that call trash are down below.
Because here's the thing: it's like there's already a great horror movie that's probably going to be picking up steam in Talk to Me. So I can't imagine that this is going to take any attention away from that.
Yeah. But
really,
okay, go ahead.
When you're looking at like star power or anything, you have to look at like, okay, who is the lead of this movie? Who did they get to really be like the hero?
And who's
Corey Hawkins? Many big name people in this.
Let me tell you who the lead is. The lead is not the cast. The lead is Dracula.
Yes, but he's going to be Dracula at night on a boat in the ocean with very little lighting. This is not exactly going to be a very visually stunning movie or something that's going to keep people captivated.
But you know what's going to help it though? Barbie. Because Barbie is so upbeat and colorful and cheerful, and this is diametrically the opposite of that.
Yes.
Well, that's what Oppenheimer is.
And if you want something smaller, that's what Talk to Me is for. It's like, this really isn't fitting any niche that's not being serviced at the theaters right now.
Okay, let me ask you guys in this case here, because now we're divided on this.
Right.
$100 million budget. What is the threshold to call it trash in that case for you guys?
Okay.
200, 225? What's that?
All right, so $100 million budget, meaning probably has to make 200 in order for it to break even because of promotion, even though I've barely seen any promotion for this thing. Yeah, look, if you had Dracula on like a cruise liner, then we could talk.
The Love Boat.
But yeah, like in order for this to be considered trash, I think, yeah, let's state this. Based upon what a movie would need to make in order for it to be successful, or just break even. If your movie makes a quarter or less, let's say a third. If your movie makes a third or less of what it needs to break even on its opening weekend, it's trash. Because at that point, you really don't have the benefit of the doubt of it being able to like have legs, build up, and keep going to get to their goal.
So you don't feel it's going to be a slow burn movie?
No, I think it's gonna have its fans that go ahead and see it in its opening weekend, and then that's it. This is not going to be a movie that travels by word of mouth.
I'm not going to go either way because I was the one that predicted that Avatar 2 was not going to do the success that the first one did. So, and then you proved me wrong with the slow burn part of that. So I'm staying the heck out of that slow burn conversation.
Well, the difference is that was much more colorful, much more bright, and it's also a sequel to the #1 box office film of all time.
I was going to say, people were waiting years for that.
This is going to be a very dark, very shadowy monster movie on a boat, followed by the guy who tried to keep 24 going and failed.
Howard Kasser? Oh, no. Oh, Corey. Oh, that's what that guy is.
Yes. He's the guy that replaced Sutherland on 24.
Yeah.
For like one season before it got canceled.
Yeah, I remember that. It was definitely...
That's the star power you have for something like this. Nothing against Corey Hogg. He's a fine actor, but if that's what you're getting for your lead in something like this, then you're already trying to simply base it on the fact that you're hoping goodwill and, creature feature people will drive this movie. And I don't think they will.
I feel like this would be a better movie for a streaming service.
Well, every movie seems to be a better movie for a streaming service.
Like if this was like a Shudder original.
I feel like there's some movies that should go to theaters, and then there's some movies that just should stay on streaming.